Hello and welcome all of my friends. Welcome to Short Stories by Daniel. This is Space Adventures with the Penguins. Once upon a time, there was a group of penguins who lived in a chilly colony at the bottom of the world. But these penguins were not like any others. They dreamed of space travel. One day, a team of penguin astronauts was selected to go on a space mission to explore the universe. The penguins were ecstatic, and they trained hard for months to prepare for their journey. Finally, the day of the launch arrived. The penguin astronauts donned their spacesuits, boarded their spaceship, and set off into the great unknown. As they soared through the galaxy, the penguins marveled at the sights around them. They saw stars and planets they had never seen before, and even encountered friendly aliens along the way. But one day, the penguins found themselves in trouble. A large asteroid was hurtling towards their spaceship, and they needed to act fast to avoid a collision. Quickly, the penguins put their heads together and came up with a plan. They used their beaks to peck at the controls and swerved the spaceship out of harm's way. The penguin astronauts cheered in triumph as they safely dodged the asteroid. But their adventure was far from over. They continued their journey, landing on strange planets and meeting bizarre creatures. The penguins even played a game of space soccer with some friendly aliens they met on a distant moon. As their journey came to an end, the penguin astronauts returned to their colony with stories of their incredible space adventure. They had shown that even penguins, with their tiny wings, could reach for the stars. From that day on, the penguins continued to explore space, inspiring young penguins around the world to dream big and reach for the stars. The end. Thank you for listening. If you liked this short story, please click like and subscribe below, and stay tuned for more adventures with the penguin astronauts. Thank you. Hello and welcome, my friends, to Short Stories with Daniel. This is a sequel to our Penguin Space Explorers story. This is Penguin Space Explorers 2. Once again, the Penguin Space Explorers were selected for a mission to a distant planet. This time, they were tasked with investigating a strange signal that had been detected coming from deep space. The penguins hopped aboard their spaceship and set off on their journey, excited to uncover the mystery of the signal. As they flew through the galaxy, the penguins encountered all sorts of obstacles, including meteor showers and space debris. But they persevered, using their quick reflexes and teamwork to navigate through the dangers. Finally, they arrived at the planet where the signal was coming from. It was a desolate wasteland with a toxic atmosphere and a harsh environment. The penguins cautiously stepped out of their spaceship, wearing their protective suits. They scanned the area with their instruments and discovered that the signal was coming from a large cave system nearby. The penguins made their way into the cave, using their beaks to chisel through the rocks blocking their path. As they delved deeper into the caverns, they could hear strange noises echoing through the tunnels. Suddenly, they came upon a group of aliens. They were tall and slimy, with eyes that glowed in the dark. The penguins stood frozen, unsure of what to do. But then one of the aliens stepped forward and spoke in a language the penguins could understand. It turned out that the aliens were friendly and had been sending out the signal as a cry for help. The aliens had been stranded on the planet after their spaceship had crashed, and they needed the penguins' help to repair their ship and escape. The penguins sprang into action, using their tools and expertise to help the aliens repair their ship. After hours of hard work, the ship was finally fixed. The aliens were overjoyed and thanked the penguins for their help. They even invited the penguins to come visit their home planet, promising to show them sights they had never seen before. The penguins bid farewell to their new alien friends and returned to Earth, their hearts full of excitement and wonder. They had once again shown that even penguins could be brave explorers of the vast universe. The end. Thank you for listening. If you liked this short story, please click like and subscribe below, and stay tuned for more from the Space Penguins very soon. Thank you. Hello, my friends, and welcome to Short Stories by Daniel. This is part 3 of the Penguin Space Explorers. We welcome them back to see what their new adventure is. The Penguin Space Explorers were once again called upon for a very special mission. This time, they were to help the International Space Station scientists fix a broken satellite that was orbiting Earth. The penguins jumped at the opportunity to help and quickly made their way to the ISS aboard their spaceship. Upon their arrival, the penguins met with the scientists who explained the situation. The satellite was crucial for communication and navigation, and its failure could cause major problems on Earth. The penguins immediately got to work. They donned their spacesuits and hopped onto a small spacecraft that would take them to the damaged satellite. As they approached the satellite, the penguins could see that it was in a bad state. Its solar panels were damaged and its communication equipment was offline. The penguins had never done a repair job like this before, but they were determined to succeed. They worked tirelessly, using their beaks and flippers to fix the solar panels and replace the damaged equipment. Hours passed, but the penguins didn't give up. Finally, they fixed the last broken component and the satellite sprang back to life. The penguins cheered in triumph as they saw the satellite system come online. The scientists back at the ISS congratulated them on a job well done. As the penguins made their way back to the ISS, they knew that their efforts had helped save the day. They felt proud of what they had accomplished and knew that they could accomplish anything they set their minds to. From that day on, the space penguin explorers were regarded as heroes, not just in their own colony, but throughout the world. They had shown that even small creatures could make a big difference, and that nothing was impossible if you had determination and a willingness to help. The end. Thank you for listening. If you liked this short story, please click like and subscribe below. Also, we may hear from the penguin space explorers once again very soon. Thank you. Hello, and welcome all my friends to Short Stories with Daniel. This is Penguin Space Explorers Part 4. Penguin Space Explorers had just returned from their successful mission to fix the broken satellite. They were relaxing in their colony when they received a special message from the President of the United States. The message was urgent, and the penguins were asked to embark on a top-secret mission. They were to travel to a distant planet and retrieve a special object that had been lost in a crashed spacecraft. The object was said to have the power to create infinite energy and was crucial for the future of the planet Earth. The penguins knew that this mission would be one of their most challenging yet, but they were up for the task. They quickly gathered their space gear, hopped onto their spaceship, and set off on their journey. The trip was long and tiring, but the penguins were determined to succeed. As they approached the planet, they could see the wreckage of the spacecraft scattered across the planet's surface. The penguins landed their spaceship and immediately set out to find the lost object. They searched the wreckage and finally found the object, but to their surprise, it was heavily guarded by alien creatures. The penguins knew that they had to act fast and use all their skills to retrieve the object. They formed a plan and executed it flawlessly. They used their agility and speed to dodge the alien guards and retrieve the object. They quickly returned to their spaceship and took off, barely escaping the planet's gravity. The penguins cheered in triumph as they held the precious object in their flippers. They knew that they had accomplished their mission and had saved the future of planet Earth. As they returned home, they were welcomed back as heroes. The President of the United States personally thanked the penguin space explorers for their bravery and service. From that day on, the penguin space explorers were regarded as the greatest explorers of the universe. They had accomplished what no one else could and had proven that even small creatures could achieve great things. The end. Thank you for listening. If you liked this short story, please check out our other Penguin Space Explorer stories and click like and subscribe below. Thank you. Good morning, my friends, and welcome back to Short Stories with Daniel. This is Penguin Space Explorers Part 5. The Penguin Space Explorers had explored many planets and galaxies, but they had never been to the Andromeda Galaxy. This time, they were on a mission to explore the Andromeda Galaxy and gather information about any potential dangers that could threaten Earth. As they traveled through space, the penguins were amazed at the sheer size of the Andromeda Galaxy. They saw beautiful stars, planets, and other celestial objects, but they also saw something they didn't expect: an enormous black hole. The black hole was unlike anything penguins had ever seen. It was massive, and its gravitational pull was so strong that it was distorting the space-time fabric around it. The penguins knew that this black hole was a potential threat to the Andromeda Galaxy and possibly to Earth. They decided to investigate the black hole and find out what was causing it to grow so quickly. As they got closer, they saw that there was a massive amount of material being sucked into the black hole. The penguins realized that the black hole was devouring a nearby star, and this was causing it to grow rapidly. They quickly came up with a plan to save the Andromeda Galaxy from the black hole. They used their advanced technology to create a massive energy field around the star, preventing any more material from being sucked into the black hole. They then used their spaceship to push the star away from the black hole, breaking the gravitational pull. The penguins watched as the star moved away from the black hole, and they knew that they had saved the Andromeda Galaxy from a potential disaster. As they returned to Earth, the penguins were hailed as heroes once again. They had saved not only the Andromeda Galaxy, but also Earth from a catastrophic event. The Penguin Space Explorers had once again proven that they were a force to be reckoned with, and they knew that there would be more adventures to come. The end. If you like this short story, please check out our other stories about the Penguin Space Explorers. Thank you for listening. If you did enjoy this story, please click like and subscribe below. Thank you. Hello and welcome, my friends, to Short Stories with Daniel. This is the Penguin Space Explorers Part 6. The Penguin Space Explorers were enjoying a peaceful day at their colony when they received a distress signal from a nearby planet. It was a warning message about an alien force that was heading towards Earth. The message described them as a dark and powerful space force that would destroy anything in its path. The penguins knew they had to act fast. They quickly gathered their space gear, hopped onto their spaceship, and set off towards the planet where the distress signal originated from. As they got closer, they could see the dark alien ships approaching Earth. The penguins knew that they were outnumbered, but they also knew that they had to do whatever it takes to save their planet. They came up with a plan and executed it perfectly. They used their superior agility and speed to dodge the alien ship's weapons and maneuver their way through their defenses. The penguins fired their lasers and missiles at the alien ships, causing them to retreat and ultimately destroying them. But their victory was short-lived, as the dark alien commander appeared in a massive battleship, more powerful than anything the penguins had ever seen. The commander had a menacing presence and was determined to destroy Earth. Penguins knew they had to stop the commander and his battleship. They devised a risky plan and executed it with precision. They flew their spaceship straight into the battleship, causing massive damage to the ship and the commander. The commander was injured, but managed to flee the battleship in an escape pod. The penguins pursued him, and after a long and intense battle, they finally defeated the commander and saved the Earth from certain destruction. The penguin space explorers were hailed as heroes once again, and their bravery and dedication to saving the planet Earth were recognized by people all over the world. They had faced a dark and powerful alien force and emerged victorious, proving that even the smallest creatures could accomplish great things. From that day on, the penguin space explorers were known as the Guardians of Earth, always ready to face any danger that threatened their beloved planet. The end. Thank you for listening. If you like this short story, please check out our other stories about the penguin space explorers. Also, if you did enjoy the story, we really appreciate it if you click like and subscribe below. Thank you.